All right. Welcome, everyone. Welcome on this Thursday afternoon. I am Stefan Spijkers. I'm here with Rafael Voog. I really hope you all are fresh still after a long week, long day of work. We are here as Navigatio to, well, help you get more leads and close more deals. We do that through three ways, or two ways actually. So one is an automated B2B lead generation and follow-up funnel, which helps you deliver validated marketing qualified leads, and sales workshop and educations that help you, well, either determining your ICP or improving your sales mindset. Not process, because that's what we have learned in the previous sequence about sales that we did with Rafael, where it's not about the process, it's about the mindset. And yes, that takes some preparations. Yes, that takes some follow-up, but it is mostly about how to get into that. And if you're interested, there's still a recording available on our channel that you can view if you'd like. Today, we're going to, well, share cold calling secrets. I'm very curious. I need to do some cold calling myself from time to time. And I'm glad that we have Rafael here as, well, I would say a mentor to help us guide with that process. He's going to maybe disclose how he closed the deal with Eric's, a 1.2 billion turnover technical wholesaler here in the Netherlands, to within, well, I would say one cold call over Microsoft Teams. Yeah, you wouldn't say, but he did. Hopefully, we can learn from that later on. Maybe Rafael, you can do a quick introduction, and we can head right into the meat of it.
Sure thing. Yeah. Thank you to having me here, Stefan, and good day to everyone. I'm very excited to be here with you and dive into the world of cold calling, right? So, my name, for those who don't know me, I'm Raphael. I'm joining you from Switzerland. I'm a fully remote high performance closer and success mentor in collaboration with Navigatio, with Stefan. And well, to let's dive in right now. Let's be real. No one wants to do the cold calling, right? So my question now to the audience here is there anyone who really, besides me, actually likes it? And don't be shy, just type in. Maybe you have some ideas, maybe you like it, maybe you hate it. Most of the people hate it. I hate it myself until it became normal for me doing it. So I would like, or we would like to get your opinion on that.
It's
Here
not
we
the it's not the most pleasant experience, Rafael. If you want to ask your questions or want to reply to Rafael's questions or to my questions, you can drop your comments and questions in the chat on the right hand side. We'll try to answer those in the call itself. But to answer the question, Rafael, I do not like it. I must say I grew used to it. I think that
Yeah.
that is maybe the best way to discuss how that goes. But getting ready for a cold sales call still takes, I would say, energy and time, and I try to postpone them as much as possible. Like um, I don't enjoy them per se. Sometimes when the conversation goes well, they end up enjoyable, but the whole preparation bit, I tend to postpone. And um, yeah, that could be something I can use some help and some guidance on for sure.
Yeah, no, I mean, like, but why is it, right? I mean, in my opinion, it's because most of the salesperson, they're just afraid of either selling or just sounding like just another cold call. So they basically think, okay, they get this person are gonna reach out. He had or got 5 or 10 cold calls already today. So if I'm phoning him, how he will reach out to me, right? How he will react on my call. And truthfully, it's easy to fall again into the trap of focusing only on the closing and making the call again, as I mentioned at the previous webinar, about us instead of the prospect. And exactly today, we here, Stefan, exactly to show you a different way forward. And we look through key topics to shift your approach and boost your success. And first of all, I would like to dive into the cold calling process itself. And this approach allows me or allowed me in the past to schedule over 300 appointments in the last 6 months alone with companies worth 500 million to 2 billion companies, and closed very, very few of them on the very first meeting, and qualify basically the prospect directly over the phone. And then showing you the path of mastering the power pitch, of course. And then I will give you some examples, and I would say let's get started and make cold calling not just something we avoid, but a tool we can master and open doors with results. So Stefan, would you like to share the first slide? We have prepared something
Yes.
for you.
Here we go.
Yes, exactly. So this is basically my pipeline framework I used, right? So basically, as you can see, it's ICP, source, lead, CRM, power pitch to secure the appointment. Well, last time we have spoken about the sales process and how to reduce the process. And well, it's already starting here, right? By the ICP. With the right information, we can pitch and can make an appointment, but also we can qualify the prospect on the phone so that we can focus on closing in the first meeting rather than qualify and set up another meeting to close. And I will just go briefly to each step. Well, first we should define our ideal customer profile, right? Our ICP, and who we exactly do we want to speak to within the company, right? I mean, this should be clear. Which position and company are we targeting, and where is our target account located? We need to have a clear understanding of our target audience and our customer, how big the company is, for example, and which segment does it operate, and so on. And the more information we have for later to doing the cold call, actually, the better. Then the next step we would be then sourcing. It's also crucial, right? I mean, to know, to get the list, the contacts we want to call, because somehow we need to get the information, the list to import it later to the CRM system. And therefore is, I mean, at least for me, the CRM is your best friend to secure all this information, which is relevant. And the question here, where you can get this information from. There are helpful tools. I don't know if you know Lucia, for example. I highly recommend this, where you can buy, for example, company address, email contacts, and identify the person you want to contact within the company. And this way you have enough information to do then later the call.
I think we will share those links and tools that you mentioned, Raphael, after the call. So if anyone is interested or trying to type in Lucia real quick in their browser bar to see what they're all about, we'll provide a list of these tools that Raphael mentions in the show notes.
Once you have gathered the information, we must import the data then to the CRM system, and this provides you with all the relevant data you need to do the call, as I said. And typically you have the phone number, then the email address, and the company website, and a summary of the generated company in the CRM system. And this is then the basic information for the calling. And even, I mean, some information might be incomplete, but your, for example, marketing team can refine or prepare the data. But however, in my experience, it's not guaranteed that this data is accurate. So it's your job to verify and filter it. And you can do it by asking questions and trying to do the call and gather intelligence. So let's move to the power pitch, right? I mean, the most crucial thing to do basically an appointment with a company. So let's start. Like, I have never seen anyone as persistent as you. This was what Intersport told me. I think you know Intersport very well. And this speaks for itself. It's showing how serious you actually are to getting an appointment with this company. So really, I tried so hard to get appointment with, I mean, I can tell you plenty of companies, but I tried so hard to get an appointment with them. And with my stubbornness, they told me then, hey, I want to give you a call because I didn't know one who really tried it so hard than you. So in my opinion, the harder you try and you not give up, they will realize it and they say, hey, he really takes his job serious. He wants to show me something interesting. He take me.
Can you walk us through that process, Raphael? So what did you do in the example of Intersport? How did you get that call?
Yeah, for example, just by trying and reaching out by them. I mean, it's not only about what you say, it's about how you're trying, because we will go through it later on, but most of the time you won't reach the person directly. So you need to try again and try again and try again. And sometimes it took me 40, 50, 60 times until I get someone on the phone, because I mean, maybe he's not available, he's on holiday or he's in an event or whatever. So you need to try and be stubborn. And once you will try the person, and you can reach out. Even if he doesn't is available on link on the phone, you can try to reach out on him on an event where he's participating, for example, or over LinkedIn by sending him just a short message. But exactly, by Intersport, it took me 40 times to reach the right person. Eventually, I got them the appointment. And either if it's not the right timing, right? For example, you reach out to someone and it's not the right timing, it really doesn't matter, because in few months or in few weeks, you still need leads, you still need appointments. So if the timing is not right now, for example, if this is an objection, you have the information in your CRM system, and you can follow up a later stage and can then set up appointment and can close.
All right.
Well, there are two ways basically to reach an appointment, right? So basically, through my experience, you either go through the secretary or directly with the number of your contact person. So keep it as simple as possible. Less is here absolutely more. One of the first mistakes people is by asking, am I speaking with Mr. or Mrs., or this immediately signals that you basically are cold call. This is you basically out here already, right? And the key is to cold call without sounding like one. So a better approach would be, for example, hello, my name is from company X. The reason for my call is, and then get straight to the point with your power pitch. And preparation is here again everything. So, for example, before I make a call, that I think I mentioned this in our previous webinar, it's nothing bad about, I mean, just to phone after another one and another one, you will eventually be a cold caller. But study the company quickly, get information, get intelligence by the website, get the connection, the trust, and enter. Then the power pitch gives you then later information about the company. But because at the end, they will realize and understand why you're calling. Do you really know what you're talking about? Do you know the company information? Do you have the expert knowledge to give them value information that they want to set up a call with you, right? For example. And or you basically can just simply say, I tried calling you previously, but we were unable, or I hear you were on holiday. Or if you already have, for example, sent a marketing email on forehand, you also could say, hello, Mr. X. I sent you an email last week about topic X. Did you receive it? Of course, he doesn't have received it. He has other things to do, obviously. So here would be a quick response, very possible. If he says no, then you say, it doesn't matter. Let's go straight to the point. And I say what it's about, for example, then it's fine. And I will quickly explain to you what it's about. And here's an example. I make it concrete, for example, just an example. If I reach out to someone and I would say, for example, we already work with many of your customers, right, who recommend us to reach out, or we work with many of your competitor X, right? And that's why we're approaching other companies in your industry, so you can benefit as well from our solution. Then start gather intelligence by asking the right questioning, by qualifying them. So very often I hear when someone is phoning, they stop and avoid yes or no questions, right? Because these people don't have time. You also don't have time. So don't waste your time and don't waste your prospects' time. This is really important, right? So basically go straight to the point. And many cold caller, I heard that they even would say, hey, I'm phoning you. This is a cold call. It really doesn't matter if it's a cold call or not. You should not sound like a cold call. You are an expert in your field. You're a sales manager or an account executive or whatever. You're phoning to help, to serve. And even if it's a no, or to be honest, if you phone someone and he opens his mouth on the other phone, you in the first 3 seconds already hear on his voice, on his tonality, if this is a positive person or is it a more negative person, like difficult to handle person, that you know how you're gonna lead. If you feel okay, this person is, for example, very avoiding and negative or under time pressure, then come to the point and tell him quickly what it's about. But if you feel he is open and you have time to explain your product, then it gives you a little bit more time to explain what it's about, and you can take a little bit longer.
And what do you do if it's a clear negative person? Like, I mean, you can have no time. That's sort of an external pressure. They're maybe a bit hasty when they're open to the conversation. That's fine. But what do or what do you say when the person is negative or really pushing back? Maybe.
You say, hey, quickly, I know you don't have time. I make it really quick, or it's about topic X I want to discuss with you, right? And you hear my voice now. I'm talking a little bit faster. Sometimes it's necessary to speak a little bit faster to come to the point instead of making it long and boring and manipulative, right? So if you have someone who is in a higher position you want to reach, and of course he's backing up or pushing, then give him the feeling that it's a really important call, because those guys will ask you the right questions, simply, straightforward. And if you answer straightforward and not try to not answer the right question you want to hear, he will back up. And if you avoid this, he might be open and you say, hey, let's make it quick. I don't want to waste any more of your time. I know you have other things going on. Let's set up quickly a meeting. I will send you the invitation. So you need to do everything for him and guide him, and then it's fine. But
Yeah.
this is the crucial thing here, I would say. So then start gather intelligence by asking the right question, by qualifying, right? When you're an expert by asking the right question, the prospect knows he is talking with an expert in his field. It's very simple. So when you call and you introduce yourself, the entry point is the most important part, right? So then your pitch comes. When your pitch is mastering and it's really good, so that's why I really recommend working on your pitch. Then call to action, right? So basically, the call to action should be then straightforward. And then no, let's go one step back before call to action. Asking the right question regarding his challenges and his business goals. Because if you give him time, if you call him and you explain who you are and what it's about, and the person has time to think, he would say, hey, sorry, I have no interest, or you are not a cold call. But if you ask then afterwards the right question, which he says, yes, okay, I have really a challenge, I have really a challenge in this topic, or this is really my goal, and you know his challenge in beforehand, basically, by understanding your market, understanding your target market, understanding your prospects' needs and challenges, because you have a unique product that really solves problems, then you get mostly an answer, like I did for my prospects, that is, yes, that is true. Yes, I have exactly this kind of problems. How you doing it? What defines you from the competitors? Or we tried a lot of times different solutions, but it hasn't worked out. And you know already your competitors, you know the challenges, you know what your prospects have done in the past and it hasn't worked out. So that's why you phone and sell, you try them and tell them how to do it correctly. So because you are a market leader.
Maybe Rafael, we're skipping around a bit in the process, but if you go back to the power pitch, like what are the components of that power pitch?
I mean, first of all, as I said, right, you need to have a pitch created that allows you to enter an appointment. So, for example, we will follow up on that a little bit later, because I give you then just now another example. But coming a little bit quickly back on the way how to sound when you cold call someone. So first of all, I wanted to tell you, I mean, confidence, self assurance, and tonality are crucial here. Right, the first 3 seconds is everything. So if you see they're open and interest, engage them and try to build a friendly connection, right? Because many times people told me, when I speak with someone, or even I realize when I speak someone with someone, then they on the phone they get the feeling they know me already. So there's kind of a trust feeling, even if I never heard about, never saw it in my life, but I give them the feeling they know me already, and that's building trust. I see there's some question here, right?
That's if people have any questions, they can put them in the chat for sure.
Wait, okay, that's from us, all right.
Yep. No, so I would say, yes, it's all about the first 3 seconds, and in that 3 seconds, I mean, a lot is happening, of course. Like it's not just what you say, it's how you say it, it's um, where they are working on, and if they're busy or not. How do you take charge of that conversation and make sure that they go into the positive flow instead of the negative or in the hesitant flow, basically?
Yeah, because I mean, it depends on which energy you are in, right? I mean, if you're excited on making I mean, if you're excited, I mean, I understand you if you don't like and you're not excited to do the cold call, but just try at least to enjoy the process and you enjoy working and the field you are, and you really have a nice product and a value to give to deliver, and you make the call, and you know what you're gonna say. Then I think really there's a way to get to those appointments, right? I mean, at the end, the most difficult part for me to get appointment is not really to pitch and to schedule the appointment. The most difficult part is to get these people, as I said before, on the phone, right?
I
Because
mean, yeah, that's for you to say, right? I mean, I think plenty of people still have problems with if you're talking to someone to get that person to share their problems or share their challenges or commit to a next action. I think what I would love to learn from you, and what maybe the audience also would like to learn from you, is how you approach that, how you get ready for that conversation, and how you take charge in those first 3 seconds. Like, do you do specific exercises before picking up the
now,
phone? Is it because you have 10,000 hours of sales pitches behind you? What is your secret preparation?
really, there isn't. I mean, this is people always try to get the key for success in life or in business, right? But at the end, it's hard work, it's stubbornness, it's trying, it's being an expert in your field. It's by repeating and repeating and repeating, right? And trying to define your pitch to understand what doesn't work and what work, right? So trying things out, different approach, even if you call, right? I mean, at the end. It should be just it should be not just to get the appointment. So rather not to get the appointment, but try to qualify the prospect in the phone by asking, hey, what is your challenge in your field, right? With what you have to fight. I mean, it just depends on which product you are selling or which service you provide, but it should be regarding them, right? So that you understand you reach to the right person, and even the secretary, right? The secretary in the end is your best friend. I had many times the situation, and actually not very often, that they try, who are you? I don't want to get reach out to you. In the worst case, they say to me, hey, this person is not available on the phone. He's only available by mail. There is no chance to get to this person. What I do then this is what I, for example, did with Eric's, right? Then you reach out by Teams. There's another way. There's always a way. And then I reach the person over Teams, because if you don't have the number, what you actually do? If you don't have the number, then you have LinkedIn. Then you can wait until this customer will set up appointment with you. It will mostly never happen. Or you try to win the secretary for you and say to him, hey, it's about that. We had maybe for a couple of years contact with this company. I would like to hear with him. I would like to speak with this person, right? We had contact in the past, and he was interested, and we wanted to talk in a couple of months, or the timing was back in the days not the right, so we wanted to again. There's always a way, but if you sound normal, like super normal, don't make a big deal out of it, or you just try to phone and get to the person and get to the point, then it's not really so difficult. I just really think it's very important that you like doing it, and you are an expert in your field, and you can listen.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
then
and you have that self-confidence, you know what value you can bring, you have rehearsed the pitch, you have in mind what you want to ask. Um, Maybe use that example, Rafael. I mean, I teased the example of Eric's at the beginning of the conversation we had. So, how did you approach that? How did you get stuck? And how did you, in the end, get the deal?
um, first of all, I tried to phone. Then I reached a person in the company, and then this person said, "Yes, this is interesting topic, but I'm not the wrong person. I'm the wrong person. So reach out, please, to this guy, he is the right person. Then I tried to contact this guy by mail. He wasn't available there. He wasn't responsive. So I wanted to keep moving and said, okay, what for way I have to get this appointment, right? So then this is such a huge company. So until sometimes you can reach out to the secretary, and then maybe he will send you to the right person. But in this way, I try to phone him over Teams, and then I made my camera on, and then the person was on auto call, and then I told him, hey, I tried to reach you here, right? Open and friendly and trustworthy. And Mark Geisen told me then I should phone him and contact you regarding this topic. And he said, yes, this is a perfect timing. We have this kind of issue. Let's move forward. And then you build here this connection. And I built this connection in very few seconds, because again, you want to have, you reach a goal you want to do. You mentioned this last time, Stefan, that also is excited to do business with some companies. Yes, but at the end, right, you don't know with which company you will have when an appointment, because it can happen tomorrow you will have with a company because you reach this person, or there's another way around. It was just I saw this company in my CRM, and I decided to phone this company today. So there was not a strategy, because in cold calling there is no knowing when you will reach and make an appointment. It's you never know. Yeah, and then we booked a call together, 30 minutes, and then he discussed with me his issues in details, and then we set up a bigger conversation. So it was actually 2 calls and 1 cold call, and then there's a bigger round of people, and then they said, yes, this is exciting. Let's do together a test run to give a statement of this product, and then we moved forward. So this was all in total, I would say, within 2 weeks. So it's really, really fast with such a company. But again, I know exactly with who I need to talk with in the company. And this is also something, if you, for example, need to reach a CEO, right, from a company, depends how big the company is. Let's talk about maybe 10 million or 50 million company. It's already big. Of course, there are bigger companies, but to reach the CEO, maybe it's not that simple. Depends on you if you want to reach maybe another person in a higher position, that is easier to reach out, right? So then of course we have maybe to try different kind of approach, maybe over LinkedIn or whatever. But about the power pitch, it doesn't matter if you do this power pitch over the phone or on an event. When I was in Rome or in Berlin, and I went straight forward to people I don't know, and I got in a conversation with them, it's basically the same. The difference is they see your face, they feel you. It's much easier to get an appointment in person, offline, than online, because they have not seen it. There you can play around with your tonality, with your energy, and they feel you.
But how? Okay, so what are the components then of the power pitch? Let's go through that step by step. Maybe there are no secrets, there are no silver bullets. There is a process. What is the power pitch? What are the components?
We will go right into it. So I will share an example with you, how I secure a lot of my appointments. So basically, if I say, hello, my name is Raphael from the company here, pause. The reason why I want to contact you is we work already with many of your suppliers, for example, that's in this aspect, such as company XXX, who are already using our platform for onboarding, for product data onboarding in a better data quality, fully automated. And they're already using our onboarding solutions, your competitor, and that's why I want to reach out to you, to other retailers, for example, in the DIY segment, and give them as well the opportunity to benefit from our solution. And we noticed many companies are looking for a solution, but aren't really aware of what's available and what really works in the market. And then I could ask, what, for example, system do you have in use? How does this process works? Is this a challenge for you? Is this manual? And then the prospect will answer you, and then you say, all right, understood. Asking maybe more questions. And then you can say, because of mostly retailer face this issue, this manual effort, or want to reduce, for example, time to market, or reduce onboarding and process costs, or want to improve data quality? Is this also the use case here? So maybe asking question where the answer is yes. And then from there,
Based on experience, you know that the answer is yes. Yeah.
so from there, basically, I ask target questions about the current setup and the process. So gather relevant intelligence, and this allows then to qualify them and lead, and then I move directly to schedule an appointment. So you should not talk too much in detail about it, but I recommend always, again, the opener. It's very important, right? You are like a friend, right? Yeah, I'm Raphael. I'm from the company X. I wanted to phone you because we have many onboardings with your suppliers or with your competitor in the market, right? And I was on your website and I saw you have also a sales team has challenges. Most of them have challenges getting appointments. How does this work with you? Is this also a problem? Let's get honest. Let's ask him question. Is what for problem he has, right? And then he brings maybe objections, and then it's your job basically to handle them, right? But in the end, he won't give you objections if you on forehand give him all the information he needs to say, yeah, this is really interesting, let's schedule an appointment, and then we will take it from there, because he has nothing to lose. I mean, at the end, you can also say, hey, look, it will take us 30 minutes from there, and in the end, we know if it's a fit or not. And if it's a fit, then we have easy test options that you can try it by yourself, and then we can discuss later on if you want to cooperate, for example.
Yeah, I mean, there's two kinds of objections, right? Like it's the, hey, I don't have time, or get off my back types of objections. Like this is not the right time is already another type of objection, maybe. But there's also like the real objections, like actually this is not a problem, or the problem is more complicated, or goes into this direction, or it's not about the data quality, but it's about the number of suppliers or whatever. But it's a topic related objection, not a general objection like get off my back, you annoying sales manager. Because I agree with you that if you approach it in this friendly way, like it's just a nice conversation, and you have interesting discussions and interesting topics to discuss, and you know the pain points, and you can put your finger on those pain points and maybe push a bit on that, or ask good questions that show that you are aware of those pain points.
I mean, but it doesn't make sense. I agree with you. It doesn't make sense to phone someone when you have a product that really solves a problem. When you have just a product that is nice to have, then it's not nice. Then it's not enough to buy the product. Or maybe you sell it in a way that it's more nice to have. With most of the companies, what I also realize is they have issues. Each companies, as well as each individual, have problems, right? And goals, of course, personal or business wise. But very often they cannot solve the problem because they don't know how. So what do? They just live with it, even if it hurts. So that's why if you phone and tell them, hey, now I have a solution that really works, right? That really improves, because we understand the market, we understand your problem, we know how to solve it. Then you awake interest, and then they say, and that's also what I bring very often, hey, we understand that a lot of companies looking for a nice solution in this kind of topics, but they don't know where, they don't even know that we exist. So that's why we're reaching out to you, because we know you might struggle in this appointment. That's why we want to give you the opportunity to as well benefit from our solution, like your competitors. And if you're in a market and you have a product and you have already reference, then bring them reference, because they would like to know with who you already work with.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay.
And I mean, don't waste your time on and don't waste your time on the phone, and don't waste the time of your prospect.
Yeah.
That's not how you develop rapport. You build rapport by demonstrating that you're an expert in your field, someone who can genuinely help achieve them their goals, and someone who really truly cares. And remember, it's not about you. It's also crucial. I mentioned this last time, right? The problem is often salespeople, they often talk too more as they listen, especially on the phone. And asking the right question is crucial to understand your clients' need, challenges, and business objectives. And again, you don't want to pitch to unqualified leads, right? So even if you try really hard to get an appointment just to get an appointment, yeah, it's also not the goal. So rather take a little bit time and be an expert. Even if they look, if you feel as an expert and you know yourself and you're confident, then it doesn't matter how unfriendly the other person is. For example, for 1 week, I also got in a cold call, and a guy told me, "Hey, first of all, don't phone me over the phone with a number that I cannot see. I mean, unknown, right?" And I
Yeah.
told him honestly, "Hey, look, I'm really sorry. I didn't notice this. Right? Normally we will phone, so don't take it personally." Or then he told me afterwards, "Where do you have my number from?" And to get panic and say, "What do I say?" I told him, "Hey, look, I'm really honest to you. I bought your number because you can buy his number. So
Yeah.
the honest you are, the better, right?" And I mean, again, it's your goal. If you're in the call and you say, "Hey, look, I don't want to waste your time," right? I mean, we have many competitors that works, and we have they could save 5 to 6 figure onboarding cost, or data or quality increased, or time to market, or whatever, right? Regarding your topic, and you say, "Hey, let's just schedule a meeting and then understand." And if he feels and you feel he asks a lot of questions, and you see, "Look, I understand all of kind of your questions, but let's maybe set up a call and take it from there." The objection could be coming that he says, "Send me a presentation on forehand." I mean, to be honest, right, a presentation doesn't really help. A presentation is just some slides, right? And I tell him, "Hey, look, I can send you the presentation, not a problem, but at the end, I need to ask you a relevant question, and I need to put you a little bit of import to guide to understand your setup a little bit better, to understand where you actually are, right? But hey, let's jump on a call, because otherwise it will take too long."
Yeah. I mean, do you also disqualify leads or prospects during those calls? Like you were talking to them, but actually they're not relevant? Or is that part of the research process that you really make sure that the lead you're talking to is actually a relevant lead?
I think that's why in the sales process it's really important to understand your ideal customer profile first, get the source of information, and yes, of course, you can disqualify sometimes, right? But I mean, very often I qualify then on the call, and then when we jump on the meeting, then basically we just need to discuss, of course, who we are, what we do, what for test options we have, what is the product about, what is our unique selling points, and then we can close them then very fast. But sometimes um, they need just more touch points to understand and to trust. But at the end, right? Yeah, it's just, yeah, repeating, trying, and seeing, and learning how it works, and what else, right? I mean, cold calling is not the only sales strategy you can use, but I mean, in the end, salesperson need to have appointment, and if you have not a strategy where you get, or a lead magnet where you get enough leads, then you need to reach out to people to get appointments. That fills your sales funnel that you can close and earn money, right? So no one is going to do it for you. So I
But
think
it's
most of the time is also maybe the timing wrong, because maybe they say, "Hey, we already have a system like in use," or it's time pressure. Of course, sometimes the objections might be real. Then it's important to really understand this and say, "Hey, maybe it's just not the right timing." But even then, if it's not the right timing, and you say, "I will phone you in a few months," I did it with a lot of customers, and then I could close them a couple of months,
yeah,
because it doesn't matter. You need later also leads, and you also need to close later, not only today. So sometimes not even to get to the right person on the phone, but have the information is crucial later on with this information to get the appointment.
yeah. All right, all right. Maybe this is not a sort of cold calling question, but it's a question I have. Is the focus is really on getting the call, right? It is important for you to speak to someone live in a one-on-one conversation. Is that correct? Why do you prefer that one-on-one call, or that phone call, or that I mean, if it's an in-person meeting, even better, but why do you prefer that one-on-one interaction?
I mean, because the person wants to see you in person, wants to know a little bit more about your company, right? Wants to be guided to understand what your company defines you from other unique selling points, how this process works, what are the prices, right? The investment, sorry, price, you should not say. So investment, exactly. Something like this, right? But again, like if you have built a nice foundation on the phone, right? A nice connection, trust build it, and sympathetic, then it's really nice. Not a problem to make them the meeting, but you should have you should have the meeting. I mean, otherwise, yeah, it's difficult then to close without having the meeting.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Okay. No, I mean, that makes sense in a way, right? So because you're not selling cookies or you're not selling smartphones that can be sold on a web shop. It's a an interpersonal thing. And even though they're buying a solution, right, they're not buying you per se. I'm not sure if that is an option, Rafael, to buy you, but they're not buying. They're still buying you, right? So you're the representative of the solution, and they need to get that trust from interacting with you.
Yeah, so I think yeah, I mentioned this also in the previous webinar. You're selling yourself, right? Because at the end, the product is not visible yet. So they have only your way of how they see. I mean, the prospect is basically mirroring you. And by mirroring you is if the prospect gives you this, you can analyze it if you make the cold call. If he asking you question you cannot really handle, you don't know what to say, you're unsure, right? Uncertain, you're not confident enough, then it's then the prospect is mirroring you. But if you, on the other hand, try to understand, you listen more, you're excited, you know a way how to sell yourself to the prospect, and you will build trust, right? And he will feel that it's not about just to get an appointment or to sell something, right? But you're a leader, you're an expert, you know what you're talking about, and you can guide him, and you know what you're talking about. I think also there's as an issue very often that salespersons maybe not identify themselves so much with the product, and they don't really expert in their field.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay.
I have one question to the audience. Maybe the audience will be a little bit more interactive now, or maybe even to you, Stefan. Let's see. I want to ask: closing begins when? When starts closing, in your opinion?
Yeah, that's a good question. If people have the answer, they can put it in the comment box. I would say I actually struggle with the closing bit, right? Maybe that is something more people have, but asking for something is generally quite hard for me. Like asking for a meeting or asking for an appointment or asking for money, right? That is all, I find that difficult. Like you're talking to someone and you have to ask them for something. So when does the closing actually start? I don't, I mean, it's a preparation. You need to ask, first of all, you need to sort of know what to ask for, I suppose. So does it start in the preparation?
Very simple. So basically, closing begins in the moment you are opening your mouth, right? So then basically it starts. It doesn't matter if you're on a event, if you're talking with someone, because it is all the time you're trying to sell yourself. Not even if you have a product, but if you want to maybe get kind of this apartment, or you want to have this kind of job into you, or you want to get this kind of woman or man or whatever, you always try to sell yourself. So in this moment, when you open your mouth, coming quickly back what you said now, Stefan, to it's difficult to ask people for money. So I think maybe, and there's also some of the people in the audience have it. It could be also like a wrong belief, right? Because a wrong belief or a pattern could be like, for example, hey, is the product really value enough? And again, like a negative belief could be also like, why people should buy from myself, but why shouldn't they, right? Because if I have a product that really serves, then they then it's an investment they do that solves a problem. So this is how I basically see it.
Yeah. Okay. That makes sense. So it is my problem that I do not believe that much in the product. It is also, I think, for me personally, it's just a habit you get into. Like, it's exposure, it is training, it is doing the work instead of it's something you have to get over or learn, I would say, as well as, of course, uh, being confident about the product, right? So it's I think it's also just, yeah, doing this often. And I think in general, sales is much more an art and a craft than
Yeah.
just a random process you can just follow, or a set process you can just follow. Because even with the process we're discovering or discussing today, and as we said in the last session, where it's about the mindset, not the process, because you cannot stick to a certain process when you're interacting with another human. It is about the mindset, about being there, about trying to empathize with them and being in their shoes much more than, yeah, going from A to B to C and closing the deal. And yes, of course, that is sort of a structure behind the actual interaction. And you need to know that. You need to know the solution or the tool or the product you're selling. But that is all, I even said, that's the foundation on which you build the natural interaction and the natural conversation that you're having with the other human on the other hand of the line.
Yes, makes absolutely sense, and I want to step quickly to the Hawkins scale. I want to show you we want to show you something interesting, um, because at the end, right, it depends if you do it on force or with power, right? So, for example, if you do something with force, then basically you will get force back, right? So basically, if we what do we see here? I don't know if you know the Hawkins scale, right? But at the end, right, you have here the force and you have power. So basically, if you ask yourself, if you're doing, for example, a cold call or a closing meeting or whatever, do I do it in a stage of force, or do I do it in a stage of power, right? If you do it on a force, then it's like under pressure, like you feel like, oh, I'm under pressure, I need to sell, I need to close, it's difficult, right? And this is also a low frequency, a low energy. um, there you get disappointed, there you get pride, there your ego is triggered, because if someone on the other hand, on the prospect will tell you, hey, I don't want to have a meeting, or who are you, or whatever, then it's his problem, it's not your problem, right? So maybe it also gives you a reflection in which energy are you swing at the moment, so better being on the power stage of power, of happiness, of productivity, right, of serving, of giving, of synchronization, of extraordinaries, as I've written here, outcomes, right? So this frequency allows you to your intention, basically. What do I really want with my product, with my service, right? And then again, then the other opponent will understand and will feel it. Because if your intention is just with force, or I want to close you, no matter with what cost, right? It's all about the money. I make the product very high price that I earn more, right? This intention is not about the customer. So we had last time. So this will gives you also a good reflection about in which energy stage and frequency you are. And if you feel maybe in a moment anger or shame or guilt, or let's say not confident enough, right? Um, or afraid to do the cold call, for example, then you know, okay, what I can expect. Because at the end, if you are swinging a frequency of or lack thinking or unconfident, right? What you will attract? You will attract exactly that. So you attract what you are. So basically, if you I think willingness, acceptance, or like with peace and happiness, and you're excited, this is which frequency you are swinging right now, and this is exactly what you attract, and then the prospect is your mirror.
Yeah. So what you give, you get back, right?
Yeah, and this will
And
help you during
I
the process.
mean, um, there is of course, I would say we all want to be, or maybe we don't all want to be enlightened, but that is sort of imposed or supposed by the chart that you want to be more in the power than the force dimension. But I think there's lots of people that are super successful that are moving more in the force part of the chart, right, than in the powers part of the slide or of the the presentation. Maybe there's even an election happening in a big country right now where someone is more on that, I would say, force part of the chart. How do you explain that? Is that I mean, yeah, how would you go about that?
I
They're
mean,
still successful, yeah.
yeah, no, definitely. I mean, the question is what it costs for you, right? For example, does it cost you health? Does it cost you stress? Right? I mean, it will backfire you in one day because at the end, right, you avoid the communication with your maybe with your mind, with your true person, with your with the truth, right? And stepping over people, right? And I mean, it can work out, but at the end, it's a law, right? We don't have to create laws. There are laws outside enough. So everything you give, you get. So of course, if you try to do it on force, you can be successful, of course, but what price it will cost you, right? Because at the end, is there a competitor thinking, right? Do I need to feel like I need to um, feel not good enough, or do I need to feel like, hey, this person is better? I need to compete with him, right? I mean, for my example, everyone is good who they are and what they do, right? And everyone has their right to succeed in what they do to get successful, and there should be not competitor and ego-related thinking. I'm better than this person, right? Because everyone is in their stage of life where they need to be.
Yeah. Okay. So more relaxed, more better for everyone involved being on the top half of the levels of conscious, which I agree with, right? But I'm just saying that it is not necessary for success. But of course, define success, right? That is an interesting definition in and of itself. I think we also touched on that last meeting. Um, what is
It will be
success?
more. It will go more in ease, I would say, right? I mean, you do things just more in ease, and it will be more exciting. It will be more fun, and you will understand that it's you stop basically running, right? You stop going and fight against your mind about your body, right? Um, some successful people have sometimes millions, but they're still lonely. They're still unhappy. It costs maybe their health, right? Not even not only physically, but also maybe mentally. So it's also the kind of what does it make you more happy to force? And in the end, you not force only yourself. You force your environment. You force your family. It has impact on your customers as well, right? And then it's a cost, what costs the price of it, rather than doing something with the right intention of power, of serving, of giving, of trying to help, right?
Yeah. Maybe one more question, Rafael, as we are coming up on time, and um, is how would you move up from like maybe courage to neutrality to, well, how do you move up the scale? Is that something you charge yourself with? Is that something you do in the weekends, walking out in the forests, walking out and about in the forest or in nature? Is that something you do reading or through meditation? How do you?
There are many tools available, of course, right? But at the end, right, it's, I would say, uh, um, your thoughts, right? I mean, your thoughts basically create your reality, I would say, and your emotions as well. So it's really important. What do you think the whole day, right? I mean, because your thoughts create the emotion, and if you feel, for example, I mean, this is just a guideline where you can reflect yourself over the day. Sometimes, in which frequency am I swinging at the moment, and what do I attract with it? Do I, when I'm angry, or when I'm thinking lack, I don't have enough money or not enough clients, right? This is force. I don't have enough clients, I don't have enough appointments, I need to get force, I need to make cold calls, I getting nervous, I get frustrated, I get them not on the phone. This is force, right? Or you have five closing meetings and you cannot close them, right? And you force people to sign. It's that this is out of force, and what comes back, it will backfire you. Because this is what you attract. So that's why I would say, by understanding and realizing it, that you in which state you are, this already helps you to understand, okay, what do I create now with this moment? So when you realize it, then you can switch and say, okay, what I'm right now doing, no matter where or what will I get from it? Do I will get from it my goal or not? And if not, then you know in which frequency you have to swing. And therefore, of course, is what you mentioned now, there are different tools, right? And the different tools could be to understand what brings your frequency higher, what makes you excited, right? Why are you doing what you're doing? What makes you happy? Even, I mean, in life or in business, right? Why you do your job, how you can make your job more helpful, what is your intention, willingness, right? Acceptance. So not forcing the customer, so rather maybe to understand him and giving sympathy. Yeah.
But that takes work, right? That's I think the thing I'm getting at is that getting from, I mean, realizing you're in one stage, maybe in the anger or fear stage, and then trying to sort of let that go and move up. That is requires active thought and active work.
For example, also one last thing, anxiety, yeah, or like anxiety, maybe afraid to speak with people, right? Being ashamed. You can see it in the scale. It's very low frequency. It's the lowest frequency when you are ashamed of yourself. If you not can speak with random, or when you have a problem with it, then you have a problem with shame, right? But at the end, you will not have an impact if you're on the stage. So if you really want to be an impact in this earth and want to do something really meaningful for the society, right? Then you should show yourself, be confident, and in the end, nothing can happen, right? So basically, if you're ashamed or you're afraid, then the people will notice that and will give you exactly this. Yes, you are unconfident, right? They will mirror you. But if you are confident and strong with power, right? Then the world around you will give you back that.
I'll give you that back. Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, we are coming up on time. I think one thing that I would like to still share with the audience, if you are still sticking with us, is the offer that we have prepared together with our mentor Rafael, which is a free cold calling workshop that we're organizing later next month in November. If you want, you can scan the QR code, and we will share a link to a sign up form as well. Or if you're interested in this, if you would like to work on yourself and improve your cold calling skills together with Rafael, I'll be there. So together with me, but I'll be listening to Rafael as well and sharing my thoughts and experiences. Then you're free to join us. So scan the QR code, follow the link that we will send to you, and I hope to see you there. With that said, Rafael, I think we are at the end of the session. I really want to thank you, and thank you for your time, for the knowledge you shared today, for the follow-up that we're going to do. And I hope to see the audience in the next session. If you want, you can join our free workshop. If not, then keep an eye out on the Navigatio LinkedIn page, because we will be back with another Secret About Sales session, and hope to see you there. Have a good day, and see you soon.
Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.